So, dear colleagues, I'm happy to introduce to you our respected lecturer from Cardiovascular Autonomic Function Lab, Cardiovascular Center of University of Lisbon, Dr. Liana Shvachiy. Today, we will have the opportunity to listen to the lecture on the topic Connecting Minds and Hearts, Lessons from a Neuroscientist and International Volunteer, dedicated to the Scientific Day in Ukraine, which is celebrated this year on the 20th of May. So, without further delay, Dr. Liana, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Alina, and thank you for inviting me for this nice day. I think science should be celebrated all around the world, and I'm very happy that Ukraine is not an exception. I guess now you can see my screen and my presentation. Yes. So, as Elena already mentioned, my topic will be about connecting minds and hearts, and I would talk a bit about how it is to be a neuroscientist, but also an international volunteer, and how am I doing everything together. I am a PhD student at Cardiovascular Autonomic Function Lab, but in the University of Lisbon, but I am also a PhD student at University Medical Center Göttingen, so doing a bridge between two countries, Portugal and Germany. So for my education from 2012 to 2015, I did my bachelor's degree in human biology in University of Évora, in which I also did an Almeida Garrett mobility, which is like Erasmus, but in Portugal. So I moved from Évora to Lisbon for 1 semester, and I studied there for 1 semester doing some different courses. I also performed an internship at Instituto de Medicina Molecular, which is a very renowned institute in Lisbon, Portugal. And then as I really found my passion in neurosciences, I did my master's degree in neurosciences at Faculty of Medicine of Lisbon in Portugal, from which I, of course, performed a master thesis. And the project was done already in the Cardiovascular Autonomic Function Lab at Cardiovascular Center of University of Lisbon, and also performed a SINANET short-term scientific mission at Lancaster University, in which I learned some new techniques and then brought it back to my university. All of that really showed me that I really want to continue to pursue science, and I want to do a PhD. Reason why, since 2018, I have been performing my PhD project, and I am a PhD candidate in biomedical sciences at Lisbon Academical Medical Center in Portugal, performing my international PhD project, which I will talk a bit more in a bit. It is between Portugal, Germany, and also England, but a bit more indirect, let's say. And I also became an EIT Health Aging PhD school student, as I saw that my education has been mostly in science and how to do science, but not how to upscale it, let's say. I really wanted to learn a bit more about entrepreneurship and innovation and how that is related to health and how can we really help people in the spot. Reason why I enrolled in this school as well since 2020. I am now in my last year of my PhD, so hopefully finishing soon and becoming a doctor. So what is the project that I'm working on? The project is the role of lead exposure in Parkinson's disease onset and progression. And in short, it's PB-NeuroPD. It is between 3 different universities, Lancaster University, Lisbon University, and University Medical Center Göttingen. I am working with 3 very renowned scientists in the field, professors and scientists. Professor Vera Geraldes, who is an expert in physiology and autonomic function. Professor Tiago Oteiro, who you should know already from BIMCO, who is an expert in neurodegeneration and protein aggregation, and Professor Neil Dawson, who is the expert in brain connectivity, behavior, and cognition. It has been a roller coaster of a project, of course, because what we program and how it goes, and it's not always how it works, of course, especially when you have Corona and then a full-scale war in Ukraine. And me being a Ukrainian by origin, it is really important to show all my support to the Ukrainians. But it is finishing now, and I think that it was a big learning from my side, and also for the people I worked with, and the things I learned are very important for my future. So what is the main goal of this project? It was to evaluate the molecular, cellular, and systems levels function effects of the environmental lead exposure in the central and autonomic nervous systems and its role on the onset and progression of Parkinson's disease. It, of course, divides in some specific goals, like to characterize the cellular effects of environmental lead exposure, also to investigate the interaction between environmental lead and alpha-synuclein being the most or being thought to be the most responsible protein in Parkinson's disease, and also to investigate the interaction between environmental lead and alpha-synuclein in an animal model. As for me, I think it's important to go not only in the cellular models, which are very important to, of course, study some pathways and some molecular changes that could happen with the addition of lead in my case, or alpha-synuclein, but also to see what is the physiological effect in an animal model. And these are very important still for us scientists to really see the effects before we go to human models or human-like models. And this is a multidisciplinary study, as I mentioned, because we don't only use in vitro, but also in vivo approaches, something that hasn't been done yet. Lead has not yet been fully studied in Parkinson's disease. It was very well described for Alzheimer's disease, but somehow there is only some correlations that we can see, but not really strong effects from lead exposure. So from this project, or from the projects that I have been performing already, because when you're a PhD student and you're working in a lab, you don't only work on your project, but you're also involved in different ones, which leads you to some nice publications or some nice communications that you could do, or networking and new collaborations that you can perform. As you can see, I have already some papers that have been published. I also have been part of different conferences, more than 50. I have communicated more than 20 times and got more than 10 awards now on fundings. I have been as an invited speaker, like today for you, and of course a supervisor and mentor. When we are working as a team in a lab, it is always important to help your peers. And when we have students that are masters or bachelors, it is very important to show them good scientific practice and to help them in the lab. Reason why I was also part of being a mentor and supervisor. As I told you, I really learned a lot through these years of my scientific career, and I'm really happy with it. But I was not only focused on my PhD thesis, which is, of course, which is my main goal in these years, but I also really like to do volunteering. And you can see here all my different achievements, or where do I work, or some things that were happening, like the conferences that I was part of, the finishing of the bachelor's or the master's, which were the moments of achievement, of course. But as I mentioned, I'm not only a neuroscientist, I'm also an international volunteer, and I would talk a bit also about that. So since 2015, I have been already working in several volunteering opportunities, like the Ukrainian school in Évora, Portugal, Red Cross in Évora, the Lisbon municipality, and Voluntify, in which I already had some nice experience in volunteering. The Red Cross and the Ukrainian school was mostly with children. Voluntify and Lisbon municipality was mostly in event organization and progression. But since 2020, as COVID-19 started, we had a very nice movement that was created. Students Against COVID, which I also think you already heard from BIMCO. And then, of course, since 2020, I have also enrolled in the EIT Health Innovators community and Clinician Engineer Hub, being the DACH regional coordinator for the EIT Health Innovators community and the strategy lead in Europe at Clinician Engineer Hub. I am still both of them, and I'm still working with both these organizations, also trying to partner them all the time so we can organize things together. Since 2022, when the full-scale invasion happened, I founded and coordinated the Help Ukraine Evora, which is a movement that is still going on. And in 2022, since July, I am also at EIT Alumni, being the lead in engagement and value creation and representing EIT Health Innovators. I will talk a bit about that a bit later, as I think that it's a bit more confusing as well. What is EIT Alumni? What is EIT Health? But because of all these volunteerings that I've been doing and being active in LinkedIn and social media, I also was proposed a job at Protein Tech, which is a company that produces antibodies that we use in the lab. I am very well acquainted with them as a user, but I was never thinking that I could be also part of the company. I was representing the Protein Tech company in Göttingen, Germany, which is where I'm studying currently and doing my PhD here. And it was a very nice experience for 6 months in which all I had to do was promote something that I already believe in. But I also got the job because of these volunteerings and because of these things that I was doing away from my PhD. So a bit more about some of the volunteerings that I have been doing. The most important one, or the one that I work mostly in since 2020, is EIT Health Innovators community. And you can see here a very nice picture of us last year in a meeting that we had from the graduation ceremony. These are our board members and local representatives that all gathered together, and we were strategizing for this year to organize more events, more opportunities for our community. But who are we? What is our mission, and what are our values? What do we bring to the community? Our mission within the EIT Health is the company, let's say, the entity, and the community is the people behind the entity. And what we want to do is to build a sustainable community centered on a unique talent pool of healthcare experts with a great marketing potential for EIT Health and its partners, who are innumerous. And our mission for members, like you could be, it's to be the leading European community that shapes healthcare innovation in Europe. I am usually saying that this is like LinkedIn, but for healthcare. It's a very great platform that you can use that could be your future career path, your learning opportunity, your communication or collaboration opportunity. So here you can see our community board. I am part of it since 2020. We have some very new faces that came now in 2023. We are divided in different regions in Europe because of the EIT Health itself, and each of us represents one of the regions. I am representing DACH, which is Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, because I am living in Germany now, and this is my the region that I am working in. And the idea behind being a board member is to really bring value not only to EIT Health but also to our members, producing these new opportunities, organizing new events, organizing new partnerships, like BIMCO has been partnered with us already 2 years. And what do we offer to our members is to learn, as we have numerous courses that you can have. Teaching, you can be a mentor or you can be a mentee, both. You can co-create. our members are always open for discussing and creating new things, network, of course, and even get hired. We are now more than 3,000 members, and it's not just students or early career researchers. It's actually people who are not only startups, who not only represent startups, but also big partners like pharma companies. So it is a great tool that you can use for your own progression in your career, or just network, of course. Of course, we have a platform, and actually it came out during Corona time, so it was a great thing that happened. And whoever is part of our events, and that's the only requirement we have, is that you have to attend one of the events from EIT Health or EIT Health Innovators community to be part of our platform and to join our community and have all these opportunities for yourself. So from my own experience, even when I was a master's student in neurosciences, I already started to do some things in this. And I first had, I was doing the PhD in Evora, then University Business Forum and Tools for Innovation in Health. At the time, I was still in Lisbon, so I was still being an alumna. And then I applied to be a local representative in Lisbon because board members are representing big regions, but of course we need some people who are more close to the community in different either cities or countries. And I already did some things, like I participated in the EIT Health Local Representatives meeting in the EIT Connect, which is the biggest event that we have from EIT in general. And also, as I was already a PhD student, I enrolled in the PhD's School Healthy Aging course and the Glass of Opportunities that was really organized by me and some colleagues from Lisbon. After that, I became the board member, and of course, I participated in the board meetings. I was organizing the International Women's Day, collaboration with external organizations, DACH regional meetings, of course, organization of events and opportunities. And I also enrolled fully in the EIT Health Aging PhD school. And of course, as the years progressed, I continued to participate in the meetings. And then we created this new webinar series, the Female Leadership webinar series. It was season 1 in 2021 and season 2 in 2022 to 2023. It finished 2 months ago, which has been a great success. We had several topics that are very, very important for us women and women in entrepreneurship. I also organized the biggest EIT Health alumni, at the time as we were called alumni before, summit in 2021, and some events in person after Corona finished finally. Of course, collaborations and organizations. And as I showed you this picture before, that was our meeting last year, which was very rewarding to see everyone after so long. I am in the EIT Health Innovators community for 3 years, but some people I never met in person, only online, and it was great to see everyone in person that time. You can see here some of the pictures from the things that I have been doing. I also been a mentor for some students, even Ukrainian students, in a project that is from EIT. And of course, collaborations between the different communities that I am representing, like EIT Health and Clinician Engineer Hub. And what was the take message for me? I didn't only enter and expanded my network in healthcare innovation ecosystem. I also collaborated with several initiatives in EIT Health. I did a lot of management and coordination experience. I established productive collaborations between different organizations and expanded my network with entrepreneurs and innovators. I did a lot of boosting with the community with new initiatives, and I learned a lot of new skills, and I got a lot of knowledge in life sciences and innovation. which for me was a personal growth. And I believe that this is like a family now. They are currently having their board meeting as well, which is very nice. I unfortunately couldn't go because of my PhD. As I told you, PhD is my priority, of course. This is volunteering, but all of them are connected, and they really make me grow as a person these years. And the other one that I told you about is EIT alumni that I am part of since last year. EIT alumni is the EIT is the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, and that's the big organization that has different knowledge communities like climate, digital, food, health, which is I am part of from the community, energy, raw materials, urban mobility, and all of them are made to create new entrepreneurs and innovators in all these fields. And who are we and what is our mission is to really inspire as the community, IT alumni community, is to inspire and facilitate interdisciplinary and multicultural collaboration and knowledge transfer. Our vision is to be the community of interdisciplinary entrepreneurs and innovators, and our values is to be transparent, collaborative, sustainable, social, sharing, and diverse. And within that, I am now representing a special pillar, which is engagement and value creation, vertical. And what is it and what do I do? The engagement and value creation vertical creates a collaborative ecosystem for community members to engage, share knowledge, and create value. It focuses on fostering engagement and interaction and to build a strong community of members. And it offers various opportunities such as networking events, knowledge sharing sessions, mentorships, programs, and workshops to connect, collaborate, and learn from each other. The engagement and value creation vertical provides members with access to resources, funding opportunities, and strategic partnerships. And it also, by facilitating connections between entrepreneurs, investors, and stakeholders, this vertical aims to create a thriving ecosystem for innovation and entrepreneurship. In a summary, what I do is not only share opportunities, but also create them. I am responsible for the social media engagement and, of course, sharing the opportunities that are important for our members. It has been also a big challenge for me because this is also more serious, let's say. What we are doing, it's for a broader membership that we have. But it has been also rewarding as I'm also learning new skills, how to strategize in a more, let's say, working level even. It really feels now like a job that I'm doing, and it's really bringing a lot of new knowledge for me. But last but not the least, since 2022, I have been the founder and the coordinator of Help Ukraine in Evora, and we have a Facebook page, which started actually very simply. I was in Portugal at the time because I was doing the part of my PhD in Portugal, and as I arrived to Evora to help my family as well when the full invasion happened, after 1 or 2 days, I was very eager to do something. I was seeing a lot of movements already happening, and it was strange for me to see that nothing is happening in my hometown in Evora. And I knew that Portuguese people are very, very solidary with this kind of causes. So all I did was contacting our priest in Evora, and I asked if there is something we can do, that if there is something I can do as a person, as a Ukrainian. And he told me, yes, there is some trucks that will leave in 5 days, and it would be nice if you could just share something on Facebook and Instagram to see if people can get some medication or some humanitarian aid. And that's all I did. I shared one post, and it just flew. It scaled. In one day, we got more than 2,000 euros in medication and humanitarian help just in one afternoon, basically. It was not even one day. And then in the next days, it really escalated so quickly that we got tons and tons of humanitarian help that was sent to Ukraine. We had to really, we organized several events with the refugees that were coming to our city. And the university was also very proactive. We did a solidarity dinner as well, in which we shared our cuisine, our Ukrainian cuisine. We also traveled all the way to the border of Ukraine, and we brought refugees to Portugal, in which I was also one of the drivers. We helped, and we are still helping. There are still initiatives happening. Even though I am currently in Germany, I am still being contacted several times to help with some things. So we are still helping refugees in Evora with jobs, housing, supplies, documentation, and even just sharing some nice events with them. And in a timeline of 1 week, we got more than 100 volunteers that were very happy to help with this cause. I can tell you that Portuguese people are very, very solidary, and they are in the beginning, they were just wanting to help with anything they could. I met a lot of very nice people, and they are still helping. We are still working on that, and we will continue work until the war is over and until Ukraine is fully restored. So my take-home message for all of you as a neuroscientist, as a volunteer, as a person, is you can make a difference in the world. You should always remember that your own actions can have a powerful impact on those around you. I am just a student. I thought I was just a student. I'm just a girl. And I managed to move the whole city, but not only city. It started in Evora for Ukraine help, but it escalated so quickly that the whole region of Alentejo, which is one of the biggest regions in Portugal, started bringing us this humanitarian help to be sent to Ukraine. So you can do anything you want. You just have to really start. You have to be motivated and inspired to pursue your own passions and to make a positive change in the world. Also, by being a mentor and supervisor to my fellow students, I know that until today, they are thanking me for the knowledge that I have shared, which is very rewarding for me as well, to know that I have helped somebody. Your passion is your greatest asset. You should find your passion and you should definitely follow it. And whether you are an academic or a volunteer, your passion and your dedication can drive you to achieve great things. Don't be afraid to follow your heart and take bold steps towards achieving your goals. And every little bit counts. Even one small action today can make a difference. Remember that whenever you have time, resources, or just a kind word to offer, know that your actions can help make the world a better place. And still talking about Ukraine and what is happening now, even one small act like sending some money for humanitarian aid is already a big thing. It all helps, trust me. So as a small quote and the last message from my side, and of course the great words of Marie Curie, as I hope you know who that is. She is the greatest scientist, as she was a woman, but she got 2 Nobel Prizes. And she's the only woman the only person that got 2 Nobel Prizes in different fields. And she said that nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. And now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less. It's very important. Knowledge is very, very important. And understanding your knowledge is very, very important. So I finish here. I would like to thank you. And of course, from my side, I'm always available for communicating, for contact. You can contact me, and ask your questions, or just if you need any help from my side, I am always here for you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you one more time for this nice and really inspiring and inspiring lecture, and for this portion of motivation. Really, it was very nice and excited to listen to everything that you did, and it was really a nice. I will repeat myself, motivation for the students, not to stop, just to move on and to take and to make every day a little step, but toward to the goals and to the dreams. Yes. So I prepared some questions while listening to the lecture, and the first one is about your scientific research. I'm interested in how did you make a successful connection between three universities, or between the scientists from three universities in your scientific research, and are there some programs which scientists can apply for if they are interested in such kind of work?
Thank you for your question, of course. That's actually an interesting question. As I mentioned, during my master's, I did a short-term mission in Lancaster University. And during my master's, I already have been in several programs and several conferences in which they are connecting already different universities and different scientists. And that's how I met Neil Dawson from Lancaster. For the Germany university, it's a funny story, because Professor Tiago Oteiro was actually the supervisor of my supervisor. So that's how they knew each other already. And because I was very interested in neurosciences and Parkinson's disease, and he is a big expert in that field, that's how we got that connection, let's say. And that's how we created this project with the three different universities. But in my case, it was like that, easy, let's say. But there is, of course, several opportunities you can get in Europe. You have the Marie Curie from European Commission, which is a very strong connection that you can have. And if you apply to this kind of program, you will have at least 3 universities involved for your PhD project, or for your project that you are developing. So that's one of them. And then you, of course, from European Commission, you have several projects that are going on and that are already, that they have included already several universities. So you definitely have some opportunities. Also from my PhD school, from EIT Health, that PhD school is, it has more than 10 partners included. So you can, of course, develop your PhD project then in different universities as well. So even EIT Health promotes this nice collaborations and networking.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the answer. I just wrote for myself some,
yes,
reminders. And the second question is about EIT Health Innovators community. Like, who can become a member of this community, and which skills the candidate have to possess, and is there a place, or some a website or something like that, or a form, or where like the candidates can apply for?
That's a very good question. And as I mentioned during my presentation, and also at BIMCO at the time, the only thing that actually you have to do is be part of one of the programs from EIT Health, or participate in one of our events or opportunities. So as I told you, BIMCO is already partner with EIT Health Innovators community. So whoever was a participant at BIMCO can already be part of our members. And all you have to do is really enter our platform. I can share you the link to that, of course. And just say that you participated in that particular event and you are part of our of our community. You don't have to have special skills. You can be a student, you can be a professor, you can be an innovator, you can be an entrepreneur, you can have your startup and you can enter with your startup. For us, if you want to learn, if you want to even get hired, we are welcoming everyone.
Okay, thank you very much for the information, and thanks for the lecture. It was really nice to hear and to get acquainted with all of that. And thanks for your help and support, and for Ukrainians. It really is a big work, and just I'm wishing you to just go on and always have this power, and to just move on and continue this brilliant work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me and supporting.